Something happened to you that has never happened before in the entire recorded history of souls walking this earth. A force so ancient, so precise, so devastatingly intentional, reached down through every dimension of existence and placed an invisible shield around your life. Not around someone more qualified. Not around someone with a cleaner past or a louder prayer. Around you. The loneliness you have been feeling, the silence, the distance from people, that was not abandonment. That was armor being fitted. That was protection arriving in disguise, got in thousands of years of spiritual history. No force, angelic, cosmic, or divine, has ever shielded a soul without absolute reason. Shields of this magnitude are not given to the comfortable, the undisturbed, or the untested. They are reserved for souls so powerful that even their proximity to the wrong environment creates interference. You are not pushed away from people and situations carelessly. The cosmos identified something in your frequency so rare, so irreplaceable, that allowing contamination was simply not permitted. What you experienced as isolation was actually a quarantine, not of punishment, but of preservation. Think back to a recent moment where you had a choice. You could have lied. You could have betrayed. You could have taken the easier, darker path, and nobody would have known. But something inside you refused. That quiet refusal, that small, unseen act of integrity, was the trigger. The universe does not respond to grand gestures performed on stages. It responds to private decisions made in silence. Your recent moral choice sent a signal upward through every layer of consciousness. It confirmed what was already suspected about you. And that confirmation changed everything that was about to happen in your life. You need to understand something deeply unsettling and deeply sacred at the same time. You have been watched. Not by human eyes, by something far older, far more patient, and far more precise. Both darkness and divinity have had their attention fixed on your every movement. Dark forces noticed your power and tried to surround you with distraction, with draining people, with situations designed to exhaust your light. But divine intelligence noticed first. It moved faster. It drew a boundary around you before the contamination could reach. The distance you felt from others was not rejection. It was interception. You were intercepted by grace. There were moments you almost broke. A situation where someone treated you with such cruelty, you nearly abandoned your values entirely. A season where betrayal came from someone you trusted completely, and still, you chose not to retaliate. A night where everything felt so unbearable that surrendering your integrity seemed like the only relief available, and yet you held. Each one of those moments was a test engineered at a cosmic level, not to break you, to reveal you. Every time you chose truth over comfort, compassion over revenge, patience over reaction, the record was noted by forces far beyond human understanding. There is a classification system that exists beyond human awareness, a way that higher beings categorize souls based on observed behavior under extreme pressure. Most souls fall into ordinary categories. A rare few are flagged. You have been flagged. The term used in ancient texts for souls like yours translates closest to dangerous light. Dangerous not because of destruction, but because of what your presence does to darkness around you. You dissolve it without even trying. You stabilize environments simply by existing in them. Beings of higher order have looked at your record and placed you in a category so rare it requires special assignment. In a moment that exists outside of time, witnessed across every dimension simultaneously, God turned attention fully toward your life. Archangels who govern protection, truth, and destiny observed the accumulated record of your choices, your silences, your private integrity, your unwitnessed compassion. And what they saw caused something extraordinary to occur. A unanimous recognition, not a debate, not a deliberation. a unanimous, immediate recognition that what stood before them was not an ordinary soul moving through an ordinary life. What stood before them was something that had passed every threshold, survived every test, and earned what very few souls in all of existence ever earn. Full divine witness. In that witnessed moment, a decree was spoken, not in any human language, but in the original frequency from which all creation emerged. It declared that the season of your shielding was transitioning into a season of your activation. What had been protecting you in stillness was now preparing to move with you into motion. The walls that kept harmful things out were not being removed. They were being repositioned as a moving force around you. Your path forward was being cleared not gradually, but completely. Every door that was wrong for you was being permanently closed. Every door aligned with your purpose was being unlocked simultaneously. You are not who you have been told you are. The labels placed on you by people who could not understand your frequency were never accurate. You are an ancient soul, one that has carried the same core of integrity across more lifetimes than can be counted. You are a celestial warrior, not of violence, but of truth. Your weapons are your discernment, your compassion, and your refusal to corrupt yourself regardless of pressure. You were placed in this specific era, in this specific body, at this specific moment in history, because this moment required exactly what you carry. No substitution was possible. Only you could fill this position. Your mission is not to be famous. It is not to accumulate followers or achieve visible success in the way the world measures achievement. Your mission is to anchor something into the atmosphere of every space you enter. Integrity so consistent, it becomes contagious. Compassion so genuine, it disarms defensiveness. Presence so grounded, it gives others permission to stop performing. You will not always know when your mission is being fulfilled. Most of the time, you will simply be living, choosing correctly in quiet moments, and that choosing will send ripples outward to lives you may never directly see. That is the nature of your assignment. Because of the divine decree now active over your life, the material dimension is beginning to reorganize around your frequency. Opportunities that were previously blocked are clearing. Financial pathways that seemed permanently closed are developing unexpected openings. The right people, those aligned with your purpose, are being drawn into proximity, while those who drain your energy are naturally moving away without conflict. Your health, your clarity, your sense of direction, all of it is sharpening. This is not coincidence. This is not luck. This is the physical dimension responding to a spiritual instruction that was issued at the highest level of authority in existence. As you stabilize in your own awakening, something remarkable begins to happen around you without any deliberate effort. People in your presence begin to question things they never questioned before. They begin choosing integrity in small moments because they watched you do it. They begin trusting their own intuition because you modeled what trusting yours looks like. You do not need to preach or teach. You simply need to continue being exactly what you have fought so hard to remain: authentic, grounded, and uncompromised. Your awakening is not a private event. It is a transmission. And the transmission has already begun reaching people further than you currently realize. Across every continent, in every language, in every culture, there are souls waking up to the same recognition you are experiencing in this moment. Thousands of them, each one shielded, each one tested, each one carrying a frequency that the world has needed and could not yet receive. You are not alone in your mission. You are part of a network so vast it spans generations and so precise that every member was selected rather than stumbled upon. This network does not require a physical gathering. It operates through resonance. When you live in alignment with your truth, you automatically connect with every other soul doing the same. If something in these words landed in a place that felt like recognition rather than information, If something in you said this is about me, then do not let this moment pass without honoring it. Comment 777 below to declare that you received this message and that you accept what is being activated in your life. Share this with one person who is in a season of isolation and does not yet understand that their loneliness is actually there. Shielding. Subscribe and stay close, because what is coming next in this series is going to go even deeper. You were not meant to stumble across this accidentally. You were guided here. Trust that.